Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, and today I am bringing you a fairly fast 2v2 rush kind of battle for Medieval 2. I will be in command of my favourite faction for Medieval 2, the Holy Roman Empire, and I'm joined by SwedishLandsknekt, who is in command of the Russians. Our opponents are FriedrichSmith, who is in command of Portugal, which is a very good faction, and I think it might be Friedrich's favourite actually. He tends to use Venice, Spain and Portugal a lot, which is three of the best factions in the game, so very dangerous faction in the hands of someone who's very dangerous in this game. And he is joined by C91. This guy proved himself a fairly good player too. He is in command of the Turks, and this is the Winter War map. I always get it muddled with Death Track. I want a Death Track because we're going for a rush, but this is not always an easy map to rush on because of this dip and the fact you got to go uphill. But when we realised that we're on the wrong map, we decided we'll focus our attack on the Turk, Legionarii-Holy, because his attacking from his side is going to be much easier because it's not quite as steep, and the Turks will not be as strong as Portugal is to attack and assault. We have organised ourselves for a rush, and that's what we're doing. So my force consists of, I believe it was 4 dismounted feudal knights and 3 dismounted imperial knights. I have a tendency to like to mix the units, these two units. I like the dismounted imperial knights. They have less defence but more attack, I believe. Well, not more attack, more armour piercing because they use a mace. And they're good because if you have more than 4 of the same unit, they start costing extra per that typical unit. So I usually get 4, and then I get the dismounted imperial knights to support them. It's a very cool unit. Then I got 2 halberd militia. This was a screening and support force. And then I got the town militia. This is just a meat shield. And I think I can't remember where they were, but I had some. Where are they? I know I had them somewhere here. Pubby's crossbowmen, I accidentally forgot to take them out of my unit roster when I was setting up my army. They weren't meant to be in there, but they were in there, so that's what happened there. It might be them over here. Yeah, I forgot about them entirely. I do remember I have them eventually, but they weren't even meant to be in my army, but I kind of stuffed that up. I have 3 units of Teutonic Knights with extra upgrades than what I'd normally put on my cav. This is a very good cavalry unit. It's probably, in my opinion, the Holy Roman Empire's best unit in the base game, simply because this is one of the best cavalry in the game. It's got an 8 charge, so it's very good on the charge. It's armed with a mace, and it's got very good defense stats and all that, and of course armor piercing weapon. So it's both great at charging, it's great at melee fighting. One of the better cavalry units in the game. It's superb, and I always use them when I use the Holy Roman Empire, unless I'm just sort of doing any sort of thing for fun. This is a superb piece of cavalry. Then I got General's Bodyguard, and my 5th unit cav unit is a Rater. And the reason I'm using this is the thinking was we'd done a prior battle to this one when we got pretty hammered by Friedrich Smith's cavalry, and we had him encircled and everything, and we were like, yeah, we've got him, and then somehow he wins this cav fight. And as I was talking about in that previous video where it's France, Friedrich Smith is cav. I don't know what he does sometimes, but he just gets the most absolute incredulous things happening. So I thought, right, I'm going to get some serious cav power, put some upgrades on him. Then I'm going to use my Raters, get behind his flank and try and shoot him and shock his morale if we're going to go up against him. That's what I was going for. So that's my army, and Friedrich, I was going to call him Friedrich Smith, I mean SwedishLandsknekt's army is 2 spearmen, spear militia rather, as his meat shield, 3 Badische axemen for shock value on the charge, because it's a rush, 4 dismounted boyar sons, and 4 dismounted Dracena, or Dracena, depending on how you want to say that. Then he's got several dismounted Dvor. It's kind of there's some missile units in our rush. Dvor can work as cavalry, but they're pretty good archers as well. Well, some very good archers as well. Then he's got General's Bodyguard and 4 Sars Guards, so he's got some serious cav power here. We weren't mucking around in this fight. Friedrich Smith had to pay for his uncanny ability to be difficult with his cavalry, and we had to make him pay this time. The Turkish player, he's got 2 units of Janissary Musketeers. He's got 3 units of Turkish archers. He's got 4 units of Kapakulu. He's got 3 Nafatoons up the back here, and 4 dismounted Sipahi lancers. I think, and he might have a, yeah, does he have a bodyguard? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, I'm not sure. But that's what we can see of the Turkish army. Friedrich Smith's army is quite typical for him. He's got some musketeers, I believe it was 2. He's got 4 aventuros, which are pikes. He loves using his pikes. And then he has, I think, 2 Knights of Santiago and 2 Conquistadors and a General's Bodyguard. And then he's got Pubby's crossbowmen and I think about 3 of those, maybe 4. And I believe he probably have some, probably up to about 3 dismounted Conquistadors in there as well. I can't really tell because he's mixed. So we decided to concentrate our strike out here on my left against the Turkish player, hoping that Friedrich's tactic of deciding to be defensive at the start of the game, winning a skirmish and then counter-striking, we're actually hoping he'd do that and stick to his little hill here as much as possible, and we'll try getting some serious knockout blows on the Turkish player. So I'm going all for that now. As you can see, here's the Turkish bodyguard down here. I knew he had one. The Turkish player does get for this high ground, clever move, which means I'm going to have to go over the high ground. Swedes is going to use a couple of his Sarsgaard to try and hold up Friedrich Smith's cav, and because Sarsgaard is strong, it'll take a very long time to break. And we're going to just focus the rest of our cav onto the Turkish Kapakulu over here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go uphill, which was rather not very ideal, but I just had to do that. So I'm going to get the charge in here. I do take a bit of missile fire, but Swedes got my back here, and I'm going to use my raiters to keep this unit out and try and rout it. He did initially get the better of me on that charge, probably because he got downhill, but I suspect in the protracted melee I would take the edge. But Swedes has got my back here, and he is going to get a nice rear charge in over here. We already smashed through that Kapakulu there, and we're rushing up here, and we're going to kind of force our way around here. Over here, Swedes is taking a fight with Friedrich Smith's guys here, and he's doing a pretty good job actually, considering how overwhelmed he is. Sarsgaard are superb, of course, but they will get destroyed, but he's going to keep Friedrich Smith out of the fight for a while. As you can see, we have basically cracked all the Turkish cav very quickly, and we're still in fairly good numbers of our own cav as well, which is exactly what we wanted. And now we're just getting into position to keep going, and we're going to push hard here. The Turkish player is retreating his army onto this hill, and they're going to take a defensive approach to try and exhaust our rush. We're trying to get rid of their last missile units here, but I was a wee bit apprehensive about the Kapakulu regrouping and getting into our flanks, so I'm trying to run them down before they can do that, because that would be a nuisance. I'm using my raiters here to try and get some shots on these guys, just to keep them at a wavering stage, so if they come to a fight they rout really quickly. That's basically what we're going for, and because we're using a rush tactic, we've got to keep momentum alive, so if we slow down now we'll probably lose, so we just have to go it, even though we're going uphill. We're taking a massive cavalry advantage over here. Swedes is going to have to pull his Sarsgaard away to try and stop him. He has, however, caught out a bunch of these conquistadors unsupported, and does a wonderful charge against them and destroys them, and he actually gets a really nice disengagement here as well for the most part. So he destroyed a very good piece of infantry there that was unsupported, and he's just going to try and refuse Friedrich Smith out here, and I want to use my Pubby's crossbow and perhaps try and bait him to try and kill them and waste time on them, or shoot him a bit, while we just absolutely flat out rush. Swedes is going to charge up here against these Aventurae. He's going to have to be very careful here, because these Russian infantry and Nafatoons getting attacked against them will not last very long. But this does allow me and my superior infantry, which are better than the Turkish and Portuguese infantry in this vicinity, to get onto the flank, which is very key here, because if we can take that flank, it's going to be very, very useful. Here I'm going to get a really nice charge against his guys here, his cavalry, or I was going to, but I lost momentum. But as you can see, I'm starting to wheel up onto the far left flank of the Turkish player here. We're trying to cause him to rout and just hold Friedrich Smith. As you can see, over here, the Sarsgaard do an amazingly nice job holding out. I've got my raiters over here shooting the flank of Friedrich Smith like I intended, just to shock his morale and keep him out of this fight while we try and win over here. We had a pretty clear plan for this fight, and as you can see, I get a really nice cab charge in through here, and I'm going to get some routes going on the Turkish lines. Got my cab behind, and we're pouring into the flank of the Turkish player, and he's starting to rout pretty much en masse. And because he got that really nice charge against the Turks there, Friedrich-Smith's conquistadors, they're not here to be an interference. And we're going to get rid of these archers now. But as you can see, we've got a mass rout going on the Turkish player. And Swedes did a really great job against Friedrich's cav here. I'm using my raiders. As you can see, look, these conquistadors are over here and fighting my raiders, which I'm just going to keep running away and getting pop shots on them when they desperately need to be over here, because as you can see, the infantry is getting absolutely mauled and there's nothing really defending them here. So we just keep pushing our cav through. And we've smashed our way up straight up the left flank here. And as you can see, we've done a pretty nice job here. And we're going to come down and try and get rid of these Nafatoons now before they cause any more serious, and musketeers before they cause any potential mass routs. As you can see, Swedes might actually destroy them, the Portuguese cav. Now, this is why Tsar's Guard are superb. They're probably the best melee-based cav in the game. They're pretty decent on the charge as well. But we put extra upgrades into a lot of our cavalry just to make damn sure that our rush did not lose momentum, because it's all about cav and the rush. It's all about cav in this game, full stop, pretty much, but when you're rushing it's particularly about cav. So Friedrich and them are going to pull back at this stage, try and take this high ground. Swedes is going to keep duking it out with the Portuguese conquistadors, and my raiders are running around the field just cleaning our units up and causing some morale damage everywhere. But we have pretty much destroyed this entire section. It was pretty friggin' hardcore attack that we just did, and we were able to burst straight through the Turkish players' lines there pretty much. It's rather good. I liked it. It's a tactic I rather like, concentration of force on a certain area and just to overwhelm it with power and just trying to hold another area. It's one of my favourite tactics in warfare, and it's very effective. So over here, I've got my Puppies crossbowmen just skirmishing away. I'm going to charge up here, get rid of these crossbow units with my cav, and we're just going to absolutely just keep this momentum alive and absolutely rolling up the field. These conquistadors, oh no, they're in turrets actually, they get routed as well. They're under missile fire, and Swedes infantry has done well. We just killed the Turkish general, and we're going to bust straight through it. Send my raiders after these musketeers just to get rid, because they were being a nuisance. Swedes is going to just keep running interference, and as you can see, we're just going to charge uphill. Most of Friedrich-Smith's units are now starting to rout en masse. And at this stage, I take a few shots at the flank of these guys, and as you can see, it just routs them just like that. And then we're just going to charge in for melee fight actually. And this is what I like about raiders. They cause that morale damage with their pistols and then going for the melee, and they're actually quite good. Whereas camel gunners for the Moors are different in that they have much longer range and can do a lot of damage to their guns, but they don't do very well in melee. Whereas raiders are shorter range, go for morale shock, and then devastate with some nice cav charging. And they both admit defeat at this stage as we just sort of wrap them up here. So that was a very successful rush, and we both thoroughly enjoyed this, and we got a little vengeance on Friedrich for the cav manoeuvres he had been pulling on us in some previous battles. We both have very high kill counts here, 574, and I got 271 captures. The Swedes got is just behind me at 530, 76 captures. But Friedrich-Smith 508, as always, he never goes down without a difficult fight. And Lisi 91 with 459 kills. He was kind of blitzkrieged by the two of us, if you would put it that way. As you can see, these Teutonic Knights, high kills, as of the Bodyguard, 95, 114, 58, 92, and the Raiders 65, and also got a fair amount of captures. That battle plan came off perfectly. And I think sometimes when you go into a battle, if you automatically have you organise a plan before you're actually going to go into it, and you work with it, and you bring it together, you do tend to have a better game actually. And me and Swedes had very much thought about this battle probably a lot more than we would in a regular battle, and we pretty much cleaned up on this one. Sometimes we just sort of go in and think, right, we'll go with this, and we sort of make the plan. We have a plan, but like with our builds, but then we kind of work out what map we're on, and then we kind of counter to, based upon the situation before us. But in this fight, we had a direct plan, we knew what we were doing, and we had it all organised straight out, and we did very well. So my infantry got a few kills, but not too many. It was all about those cav. And I suspect Swedes probably might have more of his infantry. I'm not sure. Maybe he can leave a comment and tell us what went for him and what didn't. So great game to Swedes, Friedrich Smith and Lisi 91. I thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the funnest games I had in a long time. I'll of course be linking Swed's channel in the description. Do be sure to drop by and check it out. An excellent channel with excellent commentary and excellent Total War and various other bits and pieces. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon next time.